Hey guys, you're watching the one and only. My name is AJ. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Build a City. Today, we're going to be building a new skyscraper, or at least starting it. And this one is a viewer-suggested skyscraper. What a tongue twister. Sent in by Raheem through Twitter. I hope I haven't butchered your name there. I hope I said it correctly. And it's a really cool looking skyscraper. He actually sent through about 25 pictures of modern houses and skyscrapers and some beachy style stuff. Really cool ideas, but the one that really stood out to me was this skyscraper, and it was an image he found from a little bit of research. It looks like the Sims 3 or mod from the Sims 3, and I was just really impressed with the colors of the skyscraper and the shape of it, and how I think it's going to sort of work in Minecraft. Raheem has a very good eye on all of his photos that he sent in, all of his sort of ideas of what would work in Minecraft, which is quite hard to do. Sometimes, you know, buildings work very well, sometimes they don't, but obviously he has a good idea on what does and what doesn't. Maybe he's good at building them himself. So I've got a picture up on screen, as long as I remember, obviously. As you can see, there's a lot of packed ice for the windows. So a lot of packed ice. There's going to be some snow for the white sections. There's going to be what looks like to be some sort of wood going up vertically, sort of on the sides. I don't really know. It's like an oak wood texture almost, which is very strange for a skyscraper. I'm going to go with wood and we'll see what it looks like. But if it doesn't quite look how we want, then we can switch that up to more of a clay texture is what I'm thinking. And maybe a sort of a clay of that color would work. We need a grey, a stone. Well, we've got the nice, clean, mossy for that. And I think for the moment, oh yeah, and then there's a sort of a darker grey, which is going to be like a cyan clay, about halfway up the building. Now, also, you might notice that this skyscraper, I'm going to assume that this skyscraper is one and not like one in front of the other. It looks like at the top they're joined together, but it's not your normal square or round skyscraper. It's more of a T shape, and we're looking at the sort of top of the T, and then it goes back a little bit further. I've selected this spot next to the Maze Bank here, or Inspired Maze Bank, and I think this is going to be a good spot to start with. Let's turn the shaders off so we can build a little bit more smoothly. And I really don't know where to start with this one. I usually sort of have some sort of idea. I know that I don't want it touching the front of the path here, especially since we're on a corner. It would make it really awkward. So I think what we're going to do is we're just going to lay down an approximation footprint to begin with. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We need to think about where the wood would go. If the wood went there, I think that wouldn't be too far off. I mean, it would be a little small maybe. But remember, we need to do the middle and the other side. No, I think that's a little bit too small. We're going to add another 4 blocks. 4 blocks, and then if I put that there, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on either side. And then have that come out there. I think I'm going to have to take it. We'll see. We'll see. If we go right to the other side here, and I put down the corner of how far I want to go, I don't want the skyscraper to go any further than that, let's say. Otherwise, it's going to be sort of touching that skyscraper. It might look a little bit weird. So if we go with that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then that one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then come out the front here. Yeah, no, that'll work. We should end up with our width. Now, that's pretty good because the side of the skyscraper isn't going to be really near this one anyway, because it's going to come back to that T shape slightly, which is going to be helpful. Down the side here, from what we can tell, it's a really good picture, actually. It gives us quite a considerable amount of angles to be able to build with here. But it sort of comes down the side. Then we have one of these little wooden parts again. And then we have this, which will go up the side. And then it comes back this way again. So we're going to come here. Is that enough? Is that deep enough? It might not be quite deep enough. Let's go over a few more blocks. We've got the space. We might as well use the space. Something like that. You know, it could come even further than that. I don't want it to look... No, I think that's about right for the perspective of the building. Maybe like a couple more. For the width of the building... you have to get the depth correct, otherwise it can look very, very strange. So I can't see what's behind here, so we're going to have to make it up. I'm going to go in line with this wooden part. And I'm going to go 2 blocks in from that wooden part, and then it's going to come out here. This is going to go all the way to the back here. Obviously, I can't see the very low floors, like the first few floors, because of the what they seem to be like little modern beach houses in front. So we're going to have to sort of guesstimate and use the rest of the building to try and judge what it's going to be like up the other side. Oh yeah, 2 after the wood. That's the wood. 1, 2. And then is it up here then? It must be, right? That's 2 after the wood. That's 2 after the wood. Yeah. Alright. Little mistake like that, if you go 1 block out, it's going to wreck your day for the rest of doing this skyscraper, because you're going to know something's wrong, and you're not going to know exactly where until, like, right towards the end. And it's just going to be a bad time. Okay, really cool shape. Really cool shape for a skyscraper. Really nice size as well. It's actually not too far off the other scales of our skyscrapers here, so it's not going to look too odd. As far as height goes, I don't really know how high it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be as high as that one, or in between, or what. I'm not sure. I don't know. We'll have to sort of see. But let's work on these sides first. These are the ones that we can see the most clearly. What we're going to do with this packed ice. Packed ice is great because it doesn't melt if you're a new viewer, or you don't really know too much about packed ice. It's great because it gives that sort of shine of glass. Appears sort of like glass, but doesn't melt like normal ice. And in addition to not melting like normal ice, it has that sort of modern blue look that skyscrapers like to have, like up here. Some of them might have different colours just to sort of dress it up a little bit. But another advantage of using packed ice instead of normal glass, for example, would be that... Oh, does that go like... No. The other advantage is that you don't have to worry about doing the interior of the building, because it's a solid block. You can't see through it, which some people like and some people don't like. But interiors can be very, very difficult and boring, especially boring when you're doing multiple floors. Okay, on the side here, the glass doesn't go all the way. We have a sort of snow section like this. I might end up moving that over by 1 block. Like that. And I'll do the same on this side. Before I forget, just put that there. And then I know I've moved it over by 1 block then. We are going to have a snow block up this outside. So then I can get this packed ice to go behind here. And then a white. And then packed ice. And then a white. And you guys get the idea for up there. I might leave it as full block, so I might change it up to be carpets. Or maybe sort of include carpets in it somehow. Carpets are great on skyscrapers because they're thin. They break up windows very well. And they add a little bit of colour. If you use like just a random colour, sometimes that can help as well. I don't know yet if the full block is going to be too thick, or if we're going to have to go with a string and carpet design like that. Oops, did I miss one? There we go. I don't know. It's really hard to tell when you've only got one floor, isn't it? I think the full block should work quite well. I think we should be fine. So we'll stick with that. Okay. So that's going to go up a fair height. I might even be able to get the same amount of floors as what's on the picture. We'll have to see. But yeah, I'm going to get that up on this side and that up on that side, and I should be back. So this is what we've got so far. I decided to stop at about that height. You might go, ooh, AJ, that looks a little bit short for a skyscraper. It's not even much taller than the cathedral here. Yeah, it's not that tall at the moment, but I suppose it's nearly the height of that skyscraper. But the base of the T is what ends up going higher. That's the tall bit of the skyscraper. This sort of, I don't know, apartment part of it ends off at around approximately this height. Looks really cool. I really like the windows, how they're sort of multiplying like this. I don't mind the wood either. Surprisingly enough, that isn't such a terrible looking thing. Obviously there's some detail that I want to do. This isn't the sort of finished wall design. I want to add some slabs, some sort of windowsill designs, some maybe poking out carpets in some areas and stuff like that. I've got some ideas that might work for that, but I'm just trying to get at least a basic wall in here. So the front, we have this white section come out like this, and this corner is going to go missing, and this corner is going to go missing. Okay, and these are white here, but these front ones are going to change up to be grey. I think I want to do them this one and not this one. I think I like the lighter one better. I could do something like that and change it up a little bit. I think that could work very well. And then I also made a decision of making this an even number. So like the middle point would be here and here on this, which does mean that I can't have a line that goes up the middle to divide up these two windows into half. So these are just going to be long windows, which I preferred in my head. That's sort of what I thought would look better. So this is going to be the entrance. This is going to be the way in. We need to make sure it's high enough for people to get through. I think 3 blocks is always a decent height, and then putting something like just a plain glass or white glass pane or something like that over the top here. Does that look too short? It probably looks too short, yeah, especially when we get the slabs along here. We'll go up by another block. And we'll stick those in. Oops, over the top here. Yeah, much better. We then run the lighter one over the top here. And the lighter ones come up the side. And I'll continue the darker ones up as well, because then it's going to recess those windows in nice and deep. Notice that I haven't put in the cyan clay sort of break about halfway up yet. I'll do that all at once. We'll go around the whole skyscraper with it. Or at least this sort of front part. So that's going to come up X amount of blocks. I don't know exactly how high. We'll probably just do a small section and copy and paste or stack it all the way up. But I like that. Then we get the packed ice. I like the 2 high windows for this design. Some skyscrapers we go with 3. That one's a 2, 1. It just varies depending on the skyscraper itself. It's sort of when you have to decide, ooh, do I want it like that? And here, I forgot about these dark ones. Do I want it so the windows are flush with that? Or do I want it so the windows are set back? I think I'd prefer them being set back. Otherwise, we end up with the same thing as what happened with this skyscraper. And it looks very flush. I still haven't finished that off. I'm so lazy when it comes to that skyscraper. Alright, and then we go with this one going along the front. Yeah, I think that looks really smart. I think that looks really good. Let's just do another one. It'll give us a better idea. And then that goes up a few blocks. This one comes over the top here. Yep. Okay, so that goes all the way to the top. Has a little bit of a break in the middle, obviously. And then it goes to like a weird framework section above. You could actually have this as its own skyscraper very easily, couldn't you? You could just sort of do the back and have it just as is. It would look great, but I like the idea of having this sort of back section off. It does create a lot more work, because it's basically like building 2 separate skyscrapers is what it is. That's what it basically is, just building 2 of them. Alright, now I can't see the back sides here, so I'm going to have to make this up and do a design that I think would look good. And I'm thinking something like that one. Oops. That there and that there. No. We'll keep them too high. We'll keep them all too high. This one comes along here. And then these go along the side. And then we have the white one in like that. So we have a nice simple design on the back here. I'm not sure if I like the 2 blocks in between each window. No, you know what? I do. I do like it. I think it looks very rib cagey like that. Yeah. No, I'm happy. This sort of decisions you want to make now while they're still changeable. No, I like that. And then we'll continue that pattern all the way up. Again, there'll be like little slabs and stuff. If I go slab, we'll have things like, I don't know, maybe on the small windows we'll have these. So on the back there, obviously. On the front here. I don't know if we want them on the top as well. Maybe just on... no, you know what? On the top does actually look pretty cool. like that. It brings out a little bit more grey in the side there, bulges that out a little bit. I think that looks cool. And then, say, the string idea, I think it'd look cool above the windows, which is actually going to be a real pain to do. Carpet. I might go with the dark grey for it. Something like that, just on the top half. It's thinner than those slab ones. And it'll run around the edge of these as well. Oop, where'd you go? All the way to there. Like that. I think that'd be really cool. It'll add the grey, like a little bit more tone to it. It adds a little bit more dimension because we then have an extra block sort of coming out into it. And it'll look a lot more sort of wavy, which is the effect that you really want to get from a skyscraper. Alright, I think I'm going to do that, and I'll finish off this front section, and I should be back. Right, so we've got the left side with all the carpet on and the slabs, and the right side is blank, how it was before I just cut away. I like the it's sort of like the left-hand side has a little bit of mascara or eyeliner on it, doesn't it? With that sort of dark grey on the top of it. I really like it, though. And another change, or very subtle change I've done, is, you know, the wood layer that goes down there? Well, on this side, I've actually doubled it up so it comes out to the same width as the carpet does. I might even come out a third block. I really like how that looks. I think I prefer that to the one deep one. I like how it comes out a little bit more. But I think I'd like it if it came out that an extra block and we have a sort of, we really use that wood section and as a feature. So let's add another row to that. Set plank. Do I like another one? See, now it looks like the carpet's gone through it. Yeah, you know what? I like it. I like it. It might not be exactly sort of like the other one, the other skyscraper that we're sort of basing this off, but that's what inspiration is. Inspiration is sort of building upon an idea and making it your own. And definitely, like, subtle changes like this are going to really help. Plus, I think it could be cool when we get to the top, how we're going to wrap this wood around and fit and tie all that wood in together. That could be really a good little challenge. Alright, so now what we need to do is I need to grab the whole lot from there to there, and then I can copy, flip it, and paste it to do the other side all in one hit. So let's stand, I'm going to put that one there and that one there. I'm going to go copy, 21,000 blocks. I'm going to come over here, I'm going to flip south, which is that direction, and then I'm going to paste. And it shouldn't really make too much of a difference. We just get it all finished off nicely. Oh, and I grab a little bit of the path. Wonderful. So we now have eyeliner on both sides of our skyscraper. I think that looks really cool. I really like that. And something else that I noticed is because we only... we got lucky, basically. But we've only got one gap between each window in this middle section, right? One block. But on these sides, we have 2 blocks between each window. However... at the top, it ended up perfect. It was like just the exact amount that you need to get this top level completely flush. Very nice coincidence that I'm quite happy with here. Alright, on the back, obviously, I haven't really affected anything, but it's going to, you guys know sort of how it's going to go with the slabs going up with the packed ice. Let's think a little bit about the top. Obviously, we'll start on the second part of the skyscraper next episode. But we know that this part has a sort of... how am I going to do this? I'll figure that out later. This sort of has like a frame, a cage almost. It sort of goes up and across the top here. It's quite a big cage as well. I would say that's about the perfect sort of height. This is going to come out here and sort of enclose all of that in nicely. Yeah, that should work. And then it comes back this way. The depth of the skyscraper, well, nearly the depth of the skyscraper, at least, and then joins up to the other sort of backside of it. I would say to about there is how that would go. Yeah, I think that's about right. And then we want to have, I think, this dark grey as some sort of cap at the top here. I think I want to have the carpets going around the side here. Ooh, and then covering up the tops of the wood. Maybe not on the wood, just on the snow blocks. We have this here, and then we have the clay blocks sitting behind it. So that way, when you're looking at it from the top, when you're looking in a helicopter or plane flying over, you don't see the white top of it. I never like the look of that. I think having the black top really just looks a lot better than it does on that side. It looks a lot cleaner. And then that gives us now a section that we can slab out with some sort of roof tile. I think we'll probably go with this one. It's our normal roof block. It just sort of works. That would be back there because obviously the roof white one would be down here with the carpet on top of it, covering up the back there. And it looks like this is going to go approximately to here where it is on the front. And then this back skyscraper sort of goes to this point and then comes along and then comes in again. That's the way I'm going to do it anyway. That's the way that's the sort of size and shape that we're going to do here. And then, hello, we shall not fall to our doom. We should set this to replace air with 44.6. And we'll stick that in like that. That gives us a good idea now on how this part of the skyscraper is going to look. Unfortunately, I'm out of time for this episode, but if you enjoyed it, then hit that like button. If you haven't already, then feel free to subscribe. Next episode, we should be continuing on with this, hopefully finishing it off. We actually got a lot more done than I thought today. Skyscrapers are always a tricky thing to start, and once they get moving, they then sort of snowball and become quicker and quicker and easier to do. But yeah, because of the sort of shape of this one, it was a little bit tricky to get going, but we done more than I thought. See you guys in the next episode. Bye!